What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review of the latest episode of Attack on Titan. If I sound not as hyped as I should be, considering how exciting this episode was, the ending was crazy and all that shit. It's because I got bad news. As you guys can tell, I probably sound a bit different for this review, and that's because my PS4 crashed, the hard drive anyway. I was like going into fucking Share Factory, it was taking forever to load, and I was just like, okay, what's going on? And then I went out back and hit the PlayStation button and went back into settings. Next thing I know, the PS4 can't remind me because, it says that, gotta be like reinstalled and then, reinstalled and everything. So basically my hard drive crashed. Now, it's not as bad as like seeing some people that where they like their hard drive crashes bad but they can't even like open it. Like the PS4 can't even detect it. My PS4 can still detect my hard drive, it just tells me to reinstall it, put the patch file in there, the firmware and everything, and then go from there. But the problem is it's obviously going to delete everything on the hard drive to like reformat or whatever. And I have all my save files on there and a bunch of other things, my shared gallery, stuff, my footage, I use my videos and everything. All of that's on that hard drive. My fucking YouTube career started on that goddamn it started on the PS4. I still use it and everything. So I'm going to try and maybe see if I can get the hard drive, at least get the data from it. All I really care about really is my save files. Like, if I can just get my save files, I'll be good. If I can get my stuff from ShareFact, my capture gallery as well, at least the stuff from ShareFactory, I'll be happy because if I can, you guys may know that if you follow if you watch my Hero Waka videos and everything, I mentioned that I planned on doing, a video on Sir Night-Eye. If I can't get my hard drive back, if it's fucked, if I can't get the files from it or anything, that video's not happening. I think I might have the videos on one of my flash drives. Still, I think I might have the footage on there, so it might not be completely, dead and buried and everything, so there might still be hope, but I'm holding out hope that maybe my mom can, get the thing replaced or something, get it fixed, or at least get the data from it. Hopefully, if I can just get the save files and then get myself the capture gallery and install that throw it on my 4 terabyte storage that I have on my computer, I'll be happy. So, legit, when I saw it, man, I wanted to fucking cry. I am not gonna lie to you guys. And, yeah, man, so quite the depressing way to start the day, I guess. Your PS4 fucking dies. I was legit playing. I was legit just chilling, watching some YouTube videos, and next thing I know, hard drive died. So yeah, man. Yeah, it's depressing, man. It is sad. Yeah. So without all that, jump right. But first, so enough me going on about my depression and depressed I am right now. It's sad. I'm holding out hope that I can get the data, that I can maybe get the file, but that I can recover the data from it at least. But anyway, enough of that. So, as you guys may also know, that today was also the day where Attack on Titan Season 4 made its debut on Toonami. The first episode dropped, and I just wanted to go quickly over what I thought of the dub. I talked to the character guys that got to do the dub cast and everything. So first off, it was nice to see the first episode all over again with the dub cast. They went long way. Ryder sounds a lot more badass than I remember from how he was in Season 3, weirdly. I'm so tired of walls, and he slits his hand, everything goes on the fight. Really fucking cool. I really think the new cast we got for the new characters, Gabby, Falco, and the others. I know Kellen Jeff is actually voicing one of the new characters. I believe it was Poco. I think the dude was the guy with the guy with I think it was him that's the thing. So that's did new characters and everything. So yeah, man. Really digging the dub so far for Season 4, and yeah, man, can't wait to see more of it as the days and weeks, as the weeks go by. Low key for this episode, you guys might see 2 reactions for this one. One when they finally the original version sub when it comes to record and everything that will be dropping after the review, and then another one once we get to that episode, the dub. So probably because this episode will. Anyway, man, enough of me rambling. I've gone on for like 5 minutes. Let's just jump right into this episode. So he starts the episode off. You got Reiner and Bertolt and Annie. They're walking back after kind of discussing what their next move should be, which we saw a few episodes back. And Bertolt mentions about the guy that killed himself and like why he tells him how he did it, and right before he tied the noose and killed himself. And so they're all just don't really know why. It's like it's not our job to know why it never ended. I think Bertolt might have mentioned something may have been looking for forgiveness of what happens when leaving his kids behind and everything. And he says, that when they just left Marcel, to die, so they have no right to forgive them. So they have no right to forgive people. And Bertolt then mentions, or maybe he wanted someone to judge him. So then we're back. Yes, so then we're back with I thought I might have some stuff here right there. But anyway, so we're back with Reiner and Eren, and they finally met up face to face. Reiner looks like the man is seeing a ghost. He is about to shit himself. I was like, I was when I sound like he's in the narcotics. But hey, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. I already gave my depressing speech at the beginning of the video. Anyway, so they're just so Reiner is just in shock that Eren is just right. That Eren is right in front of him. He's like, and Falco, with poor Falco, man. Like, we'll talk more about Falco and kind of how Eren basically used him as we get further on into the episode. But he's just like, and Falco's just confused in the whole situation, what's going on. Like, he's like, you two are close friends, right? Old friends. And he's like, yeah, we have a lot catching up to do. And now so they're just kind of like I said, Ryan is in complete shock. We then we're back to Tiber, the leader and everything. So he's meeting up with this woman, which I believe was the same woman that Udo, I think, the guy with the glasses from with Gabby and the others. He'll spill the wine on her kimono, and the dude looks like he's about to shoot himself from last week or the last episode. Break. So I believe that was from him. I believe that was the same woman. And so she basically just wishes him good luck and everything. Everything says, the stage friend might be getting the best of me, and she just wishes him good luck and everything. So then she goes off on her wish. I don't think she even sustained it. I think she just kind of laughed at what she said after she gave her a party. So anyway, so then we're back over so then we're back on top of like a rooftop or whatever, some of the soldiers, like the army just kind of like keeping watch and everything, see what's going on. And one of the soldiers mentions that I can't believe we are going to be starting to declare war on Turtles. And then I think it might have been right before that, we just saw Reiner's mom again, and she met up with like this other guy, I'm just looking at his name, who I think might be Annie, who is actually Annie's father. And he offers his regard that I think her husband or whatever, dying to sleep too long ago. What if that was the guy that jumped off the roof, a few episodes back. But anyway, and so she, he was proud of her son, how proud he was of his son and everything, and then she was about to give her regards to Annie, and he said, and he just kind of cuts her off, and she says, "I'm sure your daughter," and he just cuts her off right there, and says, "She's not dead. She said she was going to live on." Which, to be fair, the man isn't lying. He is right, because as we know, Annie, I believe, is still alive. Actually, she's just encased in like a tight crystal thing, which we saw at the end of season 1. And since we haven't really seen her, so she might as well be dead, to be fair. Anyway, after that, we're then back with Gabby and the others, and they're all kind of surprised at how big the crowd that has been drawn in. You got important families from across the world, reporters, the heart of the the Marley and army. You got all these different people. Pete mentions like she was having like Sophia and be like, yeah, it feels like we're in the center of the world. And so they're just taking it all in. And then the soldier comes in there and asks for the warriors, asks for the Eldian warriors to come with them as the captain, has summoned them. And at first I didn't know, I thought this was just some random dude that would have. He takes them away. I didn't suspect anything, at least at first. But we'll get there. So anyway, afterwards we're back with Eren and Reiner. Eren told Reiner to take a seat and to Falco to say, Falco to stay and listen to what they have to say. Falco was just like, hey, sorry, but you go. And Reiner tells him to just do as he says. So he's sitting in there, still in shock and everything of what has just transpired, and he's looking across Aaron. And one thing I almost forgot to mention, because this is going to come, because I want you guys to hold this in the back of your mind, what happened at the end of the episode. But Aaron mentioned, right when Ryan was at the start of the episode, Reiner, that right above them is like a housing complex or whatever, and that even though it doesn't have really a great view, there's still a bunch of people outside, like there's still a bunch of people, teaming together across the windows or whatever to see what's going on. And we see a panning shot of all these people, and all crowding around their window to see what's going on. Now remember, keep that in the back of your mind, because of what happens later on in the episode. I didn't even pick up on this until I watched the episode again before it began recording. But anyway, so then we get to Tybur. Tybur, and he goes on and explains the whole history of the Eldians and the Titans and all that shit. He goes on how there was a war, how they conquered, and they killed all these millions of people, and that the population of the current world could die 3 times over, and it still wouldn't be the same as what happened with the Titans and everything. So then he says about how eventually, because they against the Titans conquered everything, they eventually turn on each other, and we have the Great Titan War. And then he tells us about the story about Holos. Holos, his name is the hero that saved Marley from the evil Elder. And so he goes on to how he pulled some Death Note type shit, some Yagi shit, to make them fun, to he did he was doing an information war, and basically had them whatever he did to basically turn all these 8 different Titan families that hold all these different Titan powers to turn against themselves and kill each other. So the Titans to fight, and then they'll be easier to manage and take over all this shit. So he eventually joined with the Tybur family, and the rest is history and shit. And so anyway, after that, we then head over back with the soldier. He's with Pieck and Poco, and so he tells Zeke to head on ahead and so he's telling this to Enzo. And then Pieck mentions, hey, you look familiar. Have I seen you before? Where's your post? And he says his post, and he says that he also mentions he's not in the mood to make small talk, with an Elder. So he goes on. So they're going on their merry way. And then Pieck notices her squad, I guess, whatever, because she's the cart titan. She works in hand with these guys. So she sees her squad that she works with, and she runs over there and it's oh, you guys are working still so hard even right now. She hugs one of the guys, and another one of the dude is just in shock. He has his hands on his head, oh my god, everyone right around her looks absolutely horrified of what this woman just did. And so afterwards, the soldier tells me, come on, we have to go, enough of that, we have to go. And so she finally gets back over there, and then she explains to Poco that they work together with the Cart Titan, and we have a special bond. And he says, something tells me that you might have put a crack in that bond. And we see the look on their faces, they're all horrified of what she just did. It's almost probably because she's an Eldian and I'm assuming they're Marleyans, they're oh, I have been taken by an Eldian, it's probably something like that. So then, anyway, so they get inside this room, and so they're kind of and Porco and Pieck, they're all kind of looking around what's going on, what are we here? And then we get a somewhat decent little face, and it looks like it's Aaron, and not Aaron, it's Armin. And so then he cuts off, cuts his rope, which opens this trap door that sends both of them crashing to the floor. So I guess we find out, so I guess that wasn't Armin that was leading them together, which would explain why Pieck would have recognized it, because remember, she was there in season 3, the second half of season 3, when they were trying to reclaim Walmaria and all that shit. So it would make sense why she would recognize Armin. I don't know if it's when my man got so tall, but then again, it has been 4 years since the end of season 3. Well, technically 3 if you count the final episode, but it's been an overall time gap since the second to last episode of season 3. It's been 4 years, so I guess it makes sense for him to get a decent growth spurt within that time, I guess, and he's still, I think they're still teenagers at this point, right? So I guess it makes sense why he suddenly got taller. But anyway, I do not remember Armin being that tall himself. So he obviously runs off, and then we're back with Armin and Reiner, and here is when Falco starts to slowly start to put the pieces together. Wait a minute, as Aaron thought, where he's wait. if Eren, wait, how old friends are they? How old are they? If they've known each other for time years ago, that means that means and that's what turns the piece of care that this is that from Paradis when when Reiner was there and everything. Also, though, guys, you guys hear anything else in the background besides my voice? Anyway, so then we're back with Tybor, and then at this point he's like, all right, that is the facts that you actually know of that has been told to you throughout all these years. And now those are the facts you know, but he says the truth differs slightly. So right now, this is when the man starts to finally open Pandora's box and reveal it. Nah, the Eldians are not these heinous sinners or whatever. You know, these monsters, these devils that they're honestly not that bad actually. And so he explains that there was no singular hero named Helos or Tybor or the Tybor family that saved the world from these Eldians. It was actually King Fritz, because he mentioned that that the dude really wanted peace, that he sympathized, he was tired, that he didn't like what he was seeing from all the savage history of the infight and everything. He was tired of it, and he sympathized with the Marleyans and how they have been oppressed and everything. So then so him and the Tybor family struck a deal. There would be a singular hero that would save the day and everything called Helos. And that's what the story that everyone was told. When in actuality, the dude wanted peace, and that is why because he wanted peace, that's why nothing ever happened. That's why there was never this invasion from Paradis to the mainland. Because you guys remember, I think they mentioned this episode as well as in season 3. That if anyone tried to invade the island, they would feel the wrath of 1,000 titans or whatever. And even Tybor, he mentioned that that the only reason why he was still telling these exaggerating this half truth or whatever that's been going on in the Elf's history of the Eldians and everything. That the only reason we all haven't been slaughtered has been the pure luck, and that they're all inside the walls and everything, all that stuff that we mentioned earlier in the episode. And so the whole reason why nothing happened because we do want peace is because this he renounced war so that all of his his descendants would also feel that same way when they would renounce war, so that there would not be there would not be they would just stay there, they would just stay within the walls and just leave everybody else alone. But he did mention that if the Marleyans wanted to come in there, destroy the walls, take the Fountain Titan for themselves and all that shit, he would be okay with that because their sins are grave enough to where he would accept that, and no amounts of atonement could fix that. Nothing could ever fix it. But he did just ask, let me have my peaceful world and paradise within the walls, to just give me that, and that's all he ever asked for. And so then he's like, that is the real history of what's been going on and why there hasn't been another huge attack going on. And of course everybody's shocked at this revelation and whoa, so they are these monsters? What? So they're all talking amongst themselves, shocked at what they are hearing. And so he goes on and says that the Tybor family were nothing but a bunch of paid fees that bargained to deal and coveted manufactured art. But now Willie is like, I am done with this manufactured art because of the problems it could cause. And so we also see up top the guys are looking over, seeing everything's all good. The soldiers that they mentioned that the warriors they've gone missing, and whoever escorted them. So they're so now it's begun. So then we're back into the tunnel. That hole that Armin made, and they're basically reconstructing their limbs. And they mentioned this is pretty primitive, but the hole that they're in is too narrow for them to transform in, especially when there's two people. So they're basically screwed. They're basically immobilized for the time being. And Peak mentions that she knows she recognized the dude from somewhere, which obviously we know why she recognized Armin because of season 3. So anyway, back with Willie. So he's going on like and from here he basically just goes on like they basically asking for that the world is in danger because of the revolution that happened back in season 3, and now the Founding Titan is in the hands of Eren. Which I don't think it technically was, because I don't think Historia ever got the Founding Titan. I don't think. Did anyone actually ever get in the Founding Titan? Because I don't remember anyone actually getting it outside, fucking Historia's dad died and everything. I don't think Historia or Eren or anyone really inherited it. I might be misremembering some details from season 3, so correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, so he's basically telling that, because of the revolution, that Eren now has the power of the Founding Titan. He isn't held to the same ideals as the king about peace and everything. So we're basically all fucked. The world is in danger. And he's basically asking everyone to join him on this fight. So, and of course, everyone's like giving him like a standing ovation. The cameras are flashing and everything. There was actually a black dude, if you pay attention in the crowd, the dude was actually crying in there. And so, so that they got all support. But enough of that fucking bullshit. Enough of that bullshit. Let's get to the good shit of the episode. The part with Eren and Reiner, their chat. Because this was definitely the highlight of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, so then as he's telling Eren is like, that the rebel that has the Founding Titan is Eren Yeager, you can see Eren finally start to grow his leg back, which not gonna lie, that was pretty fucking cool. That was pretty fucking cool. And so by this point, Falco realizes that he was lied to. And that, indeed Eren, he tells Falco that he was a great help and everything, and then he realizes the letters about the one he sent about the letters, and he's just like, and Falco's face when all this, when he finally realizes everything was just heartbreak. I'm not gonna lie, you can't help but feel bad for Falco when Eren just used him like that, as he realized he's just like, what have I done? But anyway, enough of that. Let's just get to it. So then we get to Eren and Reiner. As the soldiers are mobilized to get into the room that they're in, and Eren's like, so as you heard from Willie Tybur, that I am the enemy, and then Eren says, but to me, you are my enemy, as he says to Reiner, and so he says that on that day, when the walls came down and everything, and he watched his mom get eaten by a titan, he didn't understand. So this is probably my favorite part of the episode. So he says, tell me, Reiner, why was my mom eaten by a titan today? And he says, that they destroyed the wall. And he says, why did you destroy the wall? To take advantage of the chaos and infiltrate the walls, and to see how the king would react. And what was your mission? To find the Founding Titan and save the world. It's like, I see. Well, if you were just trying to save the world, I guess you didn't really have much choice. And just that one second, especially when you got the clip from season 1, they played the flashback from season 1 all over again. You got that old Attack on Titan OST playing, just made that season. And the voice acting, by the way, the voice acting was great, spot on throughout this whole episode from Eren's and Reiner's Japanese voice actors. And I think I might mention this in my reaction earlier on the episode, but you guys are probably going to see another reaction to this episode when the dub finally drops, when this episode gets dubbed and airs on Toonami, because I got to hear this scene when Bryce is doing it as Eren, man. That's going to be fucking cool. But anyway, so he tells him that, and then Reiner tells him about that he still remembers what Eren said to him, that he was going to have to give them the most gruesome deaths of all time or whatever. He was going to give him a very gruesome death. And Eren's like, oh, I guess I said something like that. And Reiner's just like, huh? I just forgot. Which I found that kind of fun. I don't know if Eren was just fucking with the dude, or he legitimately forgot that he said that to Reiner. I want to say that was season 3. It might have been season 2 for all I know. But, and then Eren says that, yeah, but you're right. There was a time where beyond the ocean, I hate everyone beyond the ocean. But since then, he has crossed that ocean, slept under the same roof as his enemy, ate the same food as his enemy, and he's realized that we are all one and the same. Sure, there are people here that piss me off, but there's also good people here, and he says that, and we get flashbacks of Falco, and he points to Falco, or looks at Falco, I should say, after he says that, and that, we're all the same, that even after that, we're all the same, no matter if you were, like, told of all, like all the children that knew better that were beaten into thinking that these Eldians were demons on the island. We are all one and the same. And so by this point, Reiner just pretty much just loses it. The dude like just goes down on like just like legit go like gets up from his chair, goes down on his hands and just starts pretty much begging Eren to kill him. Basically, he's saying that no, after Marcel got eaten, Reiner, Annie and Bertolt wanted to just go home, but I told him to stay because I wanted to be a hero. I wanted people to respect me. So he's basically just saying, "Kill me, Eren, just please kill me. I'm the reason your mom got eaten and everything." Great scene, excellent voice acting once again, like I mentioned before. And then Eren says, "I knew it. We are all one and the same." So he gets up and extends his hand out. Now, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but Falco mentions that Eren's hand is cut up a bit. There's like some blood there, and Falco's like, "Oh, Mr. Kruger, did you cut your hand?" He says, "Oh yeah, nothing, just a scratch." So then he grabs Reiner's hand, picks him up. He says, "That I'll keep moving forward." But he says, "I won't stop till I annihilate my enemies." And you see a close-up on his eyes, and it starts to glow a little bit as the soldiers are like about to like break into where Eren is. He transforms into his Titan form. It was just the most badass thing ever. It's in slow motion as Reiner's trying to get to like Falco or whatever, and then we just see Eren just like transform, just going through level story by story of that build. Because remember, he said earlier on in the episode, I told you guys to keep this in the back of your mind, he said that was a residential area filled with just a bunch of innocent people watching the show. And Eren, as he's transforming, just goes through floor after floor after floor, destroying and killing all those people and getting them crushed by like the rubble and everything. And that's basically where the episode ends, after he says, and Willie says, "Come on, join me." Eren comes busting in through the wall, and it's like, so fucking cool, man. It was such an epic end to this amazing episode, man. And yeah, man, this episode overall was fucking fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Without a doubt, this is the best episode of season 4 right now. I know we're only 5 episodes in, but still, this episode is fucking fantastic. This is one of the best episodes of the series, I would say, and I can't praise this episode enough, man. This episode is great, from the voice acting, from the music, to everything, to the build-up, to finally seeing Armin return. We got Eren finally, showing off with the Titan form. We're gonna see him go against the Warhammer Titan, judging for the next episode preview. Attack on Titan Season 4 is getting fucking batshit insane, man, and I'm loving every second of it. I can't wait to see more of it. So anyway, overall, I of course give this week's episode a 10 out of fucking 10, man. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. You would like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below, and it's always meant for more. See you guys next time.